The Last Leviathan. I first heard this as part of John Bowden's folksongaday.com collection 12 years ago. It's also known by the title The Last of the Great Whales, written by Andy Barnes in the 1980s. Being a relatively modern song, it doesn't carry the same amount of baggage that we tend to see with traditional folk songs, whose lyrics typically exhibit social attitudes that are not just outdated but very often offensive. The Last Leviathan, being an anti-whaling song, is something of an exception to that tendency. It feels like a song that everyone can get behind as the world becomes more and more aware of the role of biodiversity in preserving the planet and our own species. For this reason, it's becoming increasingly popular in folk clubs and at folk song sessions, such as the Auntie Shanty session in Oxford in the UK. This is a relatively young session. It was set up in 2019, and the list was initially created by Hannah Jakes, who is a multi-instrumentalist and entrepreneur. The list which Hannah created for the Auntie Shanty sessions, and which is open to anybody to criticize and amend online via auntieshanty.org, currently comprises 105 songs that share a critical feature. All of them have been reviewed, or in some cases edited, in order to avoid songs that perpetuate racist and sexist stereotypes, dealing with some of those offensive social attitudes that I mentioned earlier. On the session's website, you can find a really mature and detailed discussion as to whether this constitutes censorship or interfering with history. As they say, there isn't a simple answer to the question of which songs are okay to sing at our session, because there isn't a single person in charge who passes judgment on the lyrics. We're a group of individuals, we all have different views and knowledge, and we're all learning. In my research for The Last Leviathan, I was so inspired to stumble across the Auntie Shanty website. I strongly encourage you to check it out, contribute to the list of songs and the list of suggested edits to the songs, and if you're in the UK, go along to their session. It's on the third Monday of every month. Meanwhile, here is the anti-whaling song that's on their list, The Last Leviathan. Enjoy. Last night I heard the cry of my last companion, the roar of the harpoon gun. Then I was alone. I reflected on days gone by when we were thousands, for I know I soon must die. This is the last Leviathan. This morning the sun did rise, crimson in the north sky. The eyes, it was the colour of blood, and the wind it did sigh. I rose to take a breath, it was my last one. From the gun came the roar of death, and now I am gone. My soul has been torn from me, and I am bleeding. My heart, it has been rent, and I am crying. For the beauty around me pales, and I am screaming. I am the last of the great whales, and I am dying. And ever since time began, we have been haunted. Through the oceans that were our home, we have been hunted. From Eskimos in canoes to mighty whalers, still you ignored our plea. None came to save us. Now that we are no more, and there's no more hunting, the big fella is now gone. There's no use lamenting. What race is next in line? All for the slaughter. The elephant or the seal, or your sons and daughters. My soul, it has been torn from me, and I'm bleeding. My heart, it has been rent, and I'm crying. For the beauty around me pales, and I am screaming. I am the last of the great whales, and I am dying.